We start in southwest China's city of Chengdu, where leaders from China, Japan and South Korea are meeting to discuss future partnerships and expanding common interests. The opening ceremony of the trilateral meeting is being held this morning. It will include the first one-on-one meeting between Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and South Korean President Moon Jae-in in over a year. The Korean Peninsula denuclearization issue is also expected to be discussed. CGTN's Jae Barton reports from Seoul.
At the last trilateral summit, China, South Korea and Japan sought common ground on diplomacy aimed at securing denuclearization on the Korean Peninsula. This time, the focus will be solving a diplomatic row after Tokyo unexpectedly slapped trade restrictions on Seoul.
They restricted the exports of three crucial chemicals that are needed for semiconductor production. Now, because Korea's largest export item by far are semiconductors, not having these chemicals means that Korean production of these semiconductors will be vastly restricted.
The move was alleged retaliation after some Japanese companies had their Korean assets confiscated.
The Korean Supreme Court ruled that Japanese companies are responsible for paying Korean workers who were forced to do labor during World War II at Japanese companies.
Many South Korean consumers have since been boycotting Japanese goods, demanding an apology. The annual trilateral summit that rotates between East Asia's three major economies has occasionally been suspended in the past due to political turmoil here in South Korea, but also because of long-standing tensions between Japan and its two neighbors. So, can China help repair the strained ties?
I think it's another complicated party, though having a third member there may mean that everybody will act more calmly and more nicely.
A resolution is needed if all three are to turn their attention to another big but equally difficult task.
Given that both the United States and Europe are going protectionist, I think Korea, Japan and China recognizes that they actually, if they combined, they will have roughly the same economic size as US and EU. So they recognize the necessity.
The benefit will be huge, but I don't think that's going to happen because there are too many issues.
There is also the recognized necessity of working together on regional security, especially after recent missile launches and rocket engine tests by the DPRK amid faltering nuclear diplomacy with Washington. Jae Barton, CGTN, Seoul.